WWE moving away from sports entertainment, plus the reaction to AEW airing CM Punk and Jack Perry's All In Brawl, and a classic WWE event is returning next month. It's all in the Cultaholic wrestling news right now. I love professional wrestling. That's how Michael Cole capped off WrestleMania last few moments, and you heard him saying that. And there was a lot of liberal use of the word professional wrestling last night. In any other wrestling company or promotion, that wouldn't be a story. But in WWE, where for the longest of times, for legal and aesthetic reasons, it's been called sports entertainment.
It was only really called sports entertainment for the whims of one man. Come on.
It was the whims of one man. That's Keith Sports Entertainment. His real name. And this is apparently for a very good reason that we didn't hear that term as much as the other term last night.
WrestlePura is tweeting out, spoke to someone from WWE who told me the promotion is deliberately moving away from the terminology of sports entertainment.
So this is a big change. Because, again, as you say, the whims of one man. I thought there was something behind that, in the sense that if it was branded as sports entertainment, then it bypassed certain laws and litigations.
I think there's certain
states.
I think there's probably a whole lot of that going on with it, but at the same time, I think it was largely, again, just the whims of one man. And I think that, you know, we've had a whole weekend of moving as far away from it as possible. They know that if they just do things that fans have wanted for ages, they will be in everybody's good graces forever. So it's like, hey, redesign the belt. Cody comes out with a winged eagle, everybody's going to go mental. Hey, like, we want to talk about wrestling again. People start calling it wrestling again. People are going to go mental and love it. Hey, we want slightly more aggressive, like, storylines, slightly more aggressive language. You start seeing it, people go mental about it. And I think it's a lot of, they can finally lean into all these things that maybe they've wanted to do for so long, or that certain people backstage have wanted to do for so long, that kind of makes the product less, I guess, hokey overall, and just sort of helps revitalize it a bit.
So are you saying that if fans are now going to get things that they want?
Probably for a little bit, not all the time.
No, not
like, you know, it's very much still going to be the same old WWE in that sense, I think. But I think for a little bit, certainly, I think we're going to have this era of fans sort of getting what they've wanted for a long time.
Yeah, and I think calling it professional wrestling as opposed to sports entertainment is a big part of that. I noticed it a lot last night. A lot of people talking about professional wrestling, more so than I've noticed it on other shows. I mean, I've been through the era in that one WrestleMania where it was just going to be called entertainment, and Michael Cole told loud and proud after his first match, "I'm an entertainer now." Like that was the same. Remember that was the same WrestleMania where the rumor was they were going to just rename it Mania.
Oh. Yeah.
No, so that was in our lifetime, sir.
Yeah, which I guess, you know, we're moving away from that. I think it's all positive. It's all positive.
It is. The one thing I've noticed was, in terms of on commentary, it's looser. Like, it feels more organic.
Yeah, it does. It doesn't feel like, hey guys, here's a catchphrase. Hey guys, here's a thing. Except there were a couple of big calls that felt a little bit boom, but at the same time, like, a couple compared to what would usually be an evening fall is amazing. And it is much more like natural feeling. Everything seems to just flow a lot better. Everybody's more conversational. It feels more like commentary should feel, right? Yeah.
I did like, however, there was a few times where Pat McAfee dropped a swear word, and then there was a few seconds of silence whilst he was clearly getting a rollicking.
Well, I think, like, some of the swears stuff is deliberate. I think if you listen back to, you know, like a lot of podcasts from people from back in the day where there'd maybe be a swear, like, you as long as you attempt to censor it, but even if you're late, you've attempted to censor it, and it's like, I think it can be used very liberally in a way where, a swear word gets in here and there.
It's an interesting week, this one, because it's the start of a new era for WWE, but also on the other side, when it comes to AEW,
fire to everything.
It's just, you know what? It feels that way. So it was announced over the weekend that AEW Dynamite will bear witness to the first broadcast of what happened at Wembley between CM Punk and Jack Perry. They have the footage, and the Young Bucks are going to air it and talk about it. This is in reaction to the interview that CM Punk did with Ariel Helwani,
where he said Tony Khan is a nice guy, but he's not a boss.
That's it.
And that was sort of the gist of it. And then we had the massive, like, Edge which everybody was calling very cringe, where Edge came out and was like, "This is the most fun I've had in my whole career. Tony's a nice guy, dudes." And then now we've got this. It's feeling quite like, oh God. But at the same time, like, this is going to be must-see TV. I think if you've got the footage, you've got the ability to use it, then go nuts.
Fightful Select report. Everyone around the situation that we've spoken to at least claims that it is genuine. Footage from the CM Punk Jack Perry altercation is expected to air. Specifically, it was reiterated to us by numerous people in AEW that the company isn't going to falsely promote something, much less that. What else did they have to say about that?
They said the talent and staff that immediately inquired were told the plan is legitimately to air the footage. Regarding questions of legalities, that doesn't appear to be an issue. And Young Bucks are set to work with FTR in the finals of the World Tag Title Tournament. But Fightful Select have reported when they were asked the talent and staff on the roster how they thought it'd work out, one veteran said, "I'd be surprised if FTR weren't given a heads up. I can't say for certain they were, but I know Tony. If I know Tony the way I think I do, they would have at least been given a fair warning it was coming because he respects them a lot."
Because FTR and CM Punk are good mates. And
I think you got to be really careful with how you're using the footage, right? Because a lot of people go, "No, it's because they're going to bring Jack Perry back," and it's like, great. So it obviously can't be footage where Jack Perry's getting roughed up at all. If it is, because you wouldn't air that beforehand. What do you gain from airing this?
That's what I'm intrigued to see.
Like, it's just super petty. Is it going to be that Punk can't? There's people saying, oh, like, he gets out of a hold like a really a hold that he's supposed to know inside out or whatever. But it's like, well, we know he's terrible at MMA. He had a really terrible run in UFC.
There is that.
So it's not really surprising to me that he maybe can't apply a proper lock.
It's one of those where it's a bit tit for tat because CM Punk has obviously made these comments about his time in AEW on the MMA Hour, and there's been a few other little shots from WWE here and there and everywhere. So this is AEW retaliating with the artillery that they've got, which is this footage of CM Punk and Jack Perry having a dust up at Wembley.
Well, this is it. Alvarez said on Wrestling Observer Radio that President Tony Khan was very upset with Punk's interview, and he's wanted to air the footage for a while now. We've heard many sides of the stories, he said, about what happened, and we're going to see Wednesday. But I think it's safe to say that if it were the story that CM Punk told, I don't know why Tony would air the footage. And then Fightful Select went on to conclude, those in AEW we spoke to say that they're of the belief that the video was enough for the company to make a clean split without much of an issue or a legal battle. The footage hasn't been made available internally to anyone we've spoke to.
I am so intrigued to watch Dynamite on Wednesday.
Yeah, this is it. So it's must-see TV.
Must-see TV. Meanwhile, in AEW, Matt Hardy, according to Fightful, is done with All Elite Wrestling. They say word within the company is that his contract was extended for a few weeks through WrestleMania without a reason why given. But it seems as if, as of today, he is a free agent
without
a
reason why given. It's WrestleMania week.
That's it. They don't want him rocking up a Mania, really. And I get that completely.
But we've been hearing about this, and back and forth. Matt Hardy said that the next deal he's looking for is one that he wants to cement the legacy with, and it's sort of, this is where he's at the point, I think he was saying, where this is it. It's sort of becoming the last great storyline for the Hardys, or for Matt, or for both of them. But I don't know where he's going to end up, right?
I feel like he has to go somewhere with Jeff.
Yeah.
And with the greatest respect to Matt, I feel like the money is in a Matt and Jeff reunion.
Of course, yeah.
It's unfortunate that if Jeff was available, he could probably go places. I don't see, outside of maybe some indie availability, what Matt would do, and that's not a diss to Matt. That's just the way some tag teams go.
He's very good at reinventing himself.
He is.
And I think that it could be a whole new thing for Matt as well here. So
I'm excited. I hope he does something wonderful. Like whatever he does, I hope that you always want people to go out the way you want them to go out. The way they want to go out, rather. That's what you want to see. The GCW Indie Hall of Fame. I've got to mention this.
This is one of my favourite things I've read.
So on Sunday, it was the Hall of Fame from GCW, celebrating the independent wrestling world. Mercedes Martinez, the late Trent Acid, got honoured among other people. But Sabu was another of this year's inductees. At least that was the plan. GCW boss Brett Lauderdale tweeted, "In the true spirit of independent wrestling, Sabu has decided to keep his deposit and no-show the Indie Hall of Fame ceremony today. He accepted the booking and took the money, but doesn't want to get in the elevator and come upstairs." What a legend. Brett Lauderdale taking that fantastically. Yeah, whatever.
It's perfect. It's literally perfect.
It is in keeping with an Indie Hall of Fame that somebody would just go, nah, I can't make it, brother. It doesn't work for me, brother. God bless Brett Lauderdale. GCW, the collective, was fantastic.
I can't wait. So like,
week.
I've been, because obviously we can't just all be piggybacking on the accounts all the time when it's like, so there's all these shows for Mania Week that I've had to save that are like the non-WWE shows.
There's been some great
So I'm like,
stuff.
I've got a deadline to hit, and then I'm going to just sit and absorb as much as I can about the wider goings on.
They did a phenomenal job this weekend. There was so much going on, and as much as I was able to catch, I've loved it all. So congratulations to Game Changer Wrestling. A great week with the collective. You guys did yourself proud. And well done to Sabu on joining the Indie Wrestling Hall of Fame, possibly, maybe. Or at least well done on getting some deposit money kept, I guess. That's the other win, isn't it?
And now we've got a story about wrestling's biggest zombie ever.
We have indeed.
Bigger than the ECW zombie. King and Queen of the Ring's back.
It is back. It was after a hiatus.
It's been alive and then dead, and then alive and then dead, and then alive and then dead, and it meant something and it didn't, and it meant something and it didn't, and then Corbin won it and did a load of stuff with it, but people kind of rolled their eyes, and it was like, ah. But under a new era, maybe, under new management, we'll get something a bit more palatable.
Well, already it's a little bit more intriguing. So it was announced over WrestleMania weekend. Last night, I believe it was announced that WWE are going to present 2 shows back-to-back from Saudi Arabia next month. Friday night SmackDown will emanate from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia on the 24th. And on the 25th, premium live event, the King and Queen of the Ring.
Why isn't it called the Queen's Crown Cup Tournament again?
What a strange decision.
King of the Ring, Queen's Crown Cup Tournament. Like, I'm just weird as.
But this is the return of both the King of the Ring and the former Queen's Crown. First time since 2022. Xavier Woods and Zelina Vega respectively winning that. I feel like the King of the Ring, the men's King of the Ring tournament was more of a favour for Xavier Woods than anything else.
I think, can we get back to King of the Ring not needing to be hokey with a whole like crown and everything? To have a ceremony, by all means, have like a crowning thing at the end of the night or whatever. But like in the 90s, it was just like, well, for a part of the 90s, it was, you'd win it and you were just too cool to wear all the stuff. So like you just wouldn't wear all the stuff. You'd just be a badass.
You wouldn't
really just make you a badass for
like Ken Shamrock.
Yeah, and give you something out the back end of it that isn't just a new get up. That'd be nice.
Yeah, Shamrock, Brock Lesnar, Billy Gunn. Well, as you say, without the extras. All right, stick a name in the ring then. Who's winning King of the Ring? Who's winning the Queen of the Ring?
Gunter.
I was going to say Gunter as well.
Gunter winning King of the Ring.
Gunter seems like
see that.
Winner gets a title shot. SummerSlam. Come on, that's the way to go. Queen of the Ring. I'm gonna stick someone like a Shayna Baszler in there.
Shayna's a massive shout.
Just a kick her way through the tournament would be quite a nice way to rebuild her and create possibly a unique opponent for either Rhea Ripley or, I mean, obviously they've fought before, but they can, it's a new era, etc. Or for Bayley.
Oh, Bayley's
Shayna Baszler and Bayley. There's an intriguing little taster there. Let us know down there who you think should do it. Yeah. Thank you very much. And thank you for joining us for live reactions over the weekend for WrestleMania. If you missed it, check out the shocking conclusion to Night 2's live reactions featuring Adam Pacitti and Andrew. And, there is, if you think that Roman's had a rough week.
Oh, it's about to get so much worse.
You can watch that now, by the way, before it disappears. WTF moments for WrestleMania Night 1, now on the channel later on today. Night 2. And live reactions to Raw after Mania with Adam Pacitti as well. Anything you want to plug while we're here?
No, just keep it with us here for all of the latest goings on in the world of wrestling.
All of the goings on at cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.